looks a bit like something out of a video game, but it's real. I know because I've driven it.
Decades ago, you used to hear about these cars that were coach built. People with some money liked to buy vehicles that not everybody else had. They would start with a base vehicle and then someone would build them a body around it. That's essentially what we're dealing with right here. This is the Rezvani Beast, and it has a pretty good name. It has a pretty good body, and underneath it, it has a pretty good platform. Under this skin is an Ariel Atom. That means we have a Honda K24 motor in the back, supercharged thanks to Roadtrex. We've got that wonderful suspension, we've got that wonderful tube chassis, but now we've got a car that's also nice to look at as well. Let's see if it's also nice to drive. Let's go. So you got the Ariel Atom gauge package, and I'm gonna try to talk loud, but it's gonna be difficult because it's a loud car. So there are no doors. To get in and out of the car, you step on the seat, climb over. It's actually fairly easy to get in and out of considering that. And this seat is all the way back. It does have some travel, so if you're shorter, you can move up. I'm 6'3", 220, but I fit. It's a little bit of work to get my knees under the steering wheel, but once they're in, they're great. And it's kind of almost a laid down seating position, which I like in a car like this. Forward visibility is fantastic. There are side view mirrors that are kind of hard to see out of. They look neat because they're carbon fiber basically, but I mean, if you want to see something, you're not going to see much. So, right behind us here, we have the Honda K24 motor that comes with all Ariel Atoms. This one, of course, has that Roadtrex supercharger. So this car makes 300 horsepower. Rezvani has a version that makes 500 horsepower, and yes, we're talking to them about getting to drive that one. There's also one coming out called the Beast X, and that one's gonna have 700 horsepower because there's nothing like more power. I mean, we can't argue with that. 700 horsepower is gonna be batshit crazy. I mean, this car's already a bit of a handful because it's based on an Atom. Thankfully though, the wheelbase has been altered a little bit to make this a little bit more stable than the Atom comes right out of the box. Since we don't have any power steering, there's nothing but feedback coming through this super lightweight carbon fiber steering wheel. I just realized it's removable, which would make getting in and out a lot easier. I'm kind of dumb sometimes. Regardless of my stupidity. Back to the car. So no power steering, no traction control, no power brakes. You have to really put your foot in it to haul this down, but it's a lightweight, so you don't need the power brakes. Acceleration is, as you can imagine, pretty immediate. 0 to 60 of the Beast is about 3.5 seconds, which is very quick. All the noise and the lateral forces, it's very go-karty. You know, they always say it's cliche to say, oh, this car's go-kart-like. This car is go-kart-like. This is a toy. As Alex Roy would say, this is a fourth car. It's not cheap. It's not, let me back that up. It's not cheap because it's about $135,000 to $150,000. But for what you're getting, it's not that expensive. The performance is astronomical. The suspension is fantastic. The wheels are wide, the tires are fat and sticky. There's tons of grip. I've tried to kick it out in corners and it doesn't want to. It just wants to hold on and go around the turn. Novel concept. The shifter is excellent and precise. The clutch is quick. The pedal feels great. I mean, I'm driving basically a race car on the street. That's always a good thing. That always leads to good days. The clouds are hiding the heat, so that helps too. My hair looks stupid, but I don't care. If you just go fingertips on the steering wheel, you can see the wheel moving because it's feeling everything on the road. There's no damping going on that a power steering system would provide. That's what you want out of a car like this. If this car had power steering, it would kill the experience a little bit, to be honest. When I drove a Morgan three-wheeler that didn't have power steering, it was fantastic. When I drove that same car later and power steering was added, it was still amazing. It just was damped a little bit. The fun was damped because the steering was damped. There's nothing damped here. This is raw, but it's still not as raw as an Atom. This is basically like a luxury Ariel Atom. And Rezvani is okay with the Atom comparisons because they know what the base car is. This is a coach-built car. They're not trying to claim that this is something it's not. It's a car that starts life as something else, and Rezvani takes it and turns it into something different than that. And that's good. People used to love coach-built cars back in the day. You don't see them as much anymore, at least, I mean, I don't see them personally. So it's kind of cool to see something like this come up. We need more coach-built cars where they take a platform that's already good and then they make something different and cool out of it. This is a luxury Ariel Atom, and I'm okay with that. Every sensation is exactly what you hoped it would be. When you saw pictures of this thing when it first appeared on the internet, you're like, all right, well, we'll see. But here it is. It's legit, it's real. It's got some parts borrowed from other things. The headlights are from an Acura. Those are Acura headlights. But they look good. Why not use them? The taillights are the company's own. The wheels are the company's own. Yeah, baby! Just listen to that noise. How can you not like that? Oh yeah. That mimics what's going on in your brain. Watch. I'll show you what's happening in my brain. Up, up. Oh. That was really fun. We're like a pair of opera singers here. Let's try that again. Up, up. This car probably gets good fuel economy too because it's got a Honda motor. God damn, I would get into a lot of trouble if I had one of these. Up, up. I love supercharger noises. Could you daily drive it? Yeah, you could. You'd be a bit of a mental patient, but a good mental patient.